Hello everyone, I'm Sophie and I'm currently at Kechara Forest Retreat, Bentong, Malaysia. And this is the book by my Guru, His Eminence the 25th Sam Tuku Rinpoche. Nothing changes, everything changes. And currently I'm on the topic of why I make myself unhappy. And I'll be reading from page 23. Everything is based on you changing your reputation. And as usual, let me go to a picture to share with you. There you go. Page 23. For people who say I'm lazy, oh, I'm not aware, oh, I'm attached, oh, I have desire. That's the way I am, but I'm working on it. BS. In fact, that itself is an attachment and a lame excuse for you to continue what you're doing, to create yourself the next time. When you actually tell people, I'm full of desire, I'm lazy, I have bad speech, I'm not aware, I can't do this, I can't do that, you're reinforcing it because you are using that as an excuse not to become better. That is called attachment, based on wrong projection that comes from the deepest suffering, ignorance. The main factor for us to stay in samsara is when we reinforce it over and over. I can't, I won't, I don't have time, I can't, I just can't, it's hard, I'll try. You know what's the worst word and that's you know what's the worst word that puts you down? When you say, I will try. It's very bad because you give yourself 50-50 that you won't. And if you know yourself, if you have a reputation of not fulfilling your commitments and not doing what you're supposed to do and disappointing a lot of people, if you are that type of person, disappointing people, letting people down, letting your anger take over, getting revenge, being lazy, not fulfilling your commitments, if you're that type of person, when you say, I'll try, you allow yourself to fail. Some of you may think, oh, but that's the way of not letting people down. You're already letting people down because you already have the reputation of being that way. So what you need to say is, I will, and do it. Whatever reputation was made in the past can be changed now for the future. So if you were this way, if you were orange in the past, you can be red in the future. If you are red now, you can be green the next day. Everything is based on you changing your reputation. So therefore, whatever you were doesn't have to be the same tomorrow. Whatever you are now doesn't have to remain. Whatever you want to be can happen now. Why? Because you put in what you want to be. You become what you put your energy towards. So if you are self-deprecating and you say you can't, you cannot, or you put yourself down by not doing, because you base it on a past experience, then you are a very attached person. If you are a very attached person in Dharma, it's very hard to improve and become better. And the best way to let go of that attachment, the best remedy is realizing you are attached. Listening to Dharma teachings on removal of attachment, collecting merit, and doing practices to cut out that attachment. Because if it's attachment, it brings unhappiness. If it's attachment based, it brings disharmony. If it's attachment based, no matter how good things are now, no matter how good your motivation supposedly is, it will bring about unhappiness. The law in samsara is everything is impermanent and will end. You need to remember that truth and you need to keep that in your mind. So long as we understand the truth, everything becomes easier. It's not something that makes you depressed. It is something that actually helps you to become better. Our upbringing, our culture, our background, and what we expect is false. This is on page 24. We need to let go of conventions, projections, cultures, upbringing, expectations of experiences. That will help us let go. We will feel less at a loss. We'll feel less lost. And we'll find a purpose in our lives. I repeat, due to past experiences, we hold on to conventions. If we are Chinese, at Chinese New Year's, everything must be red, or we won't have fortune. But that means everybody who doesn't have red on Chinese New Year's must be a failure. And then we get attached to that. What I'm saying here is I'm not putting down Chinese culture and 5,000 years of rich Chinese heritage. What I'm saying is if it suits everybody to have red, have red. If you go home to your family in Penang or Ipoh or Teluk Intan or Greek or Kelantan or Tibet and they want red and it makes them happy, put red. But if you go to another place and you have to have red and they don't want to have red, and then a big argument ensues, it's not a happy gong xi fat chai, is it? What I'm saying is that is convention. Those are things created by humans who don't have wisdom, which says we need to do things in a certain way, otherwise good fortune or good things won't come. Celebrate Chinese New Year, wear red, have red houses, everything red, be red, hang out in Jalan Alor red, no problem. But if you are in a place that doesn't understand, know that you don't have to have that and force it down people to say, I have to have it. Holding culture, holding convention can be beneficial, but if we do it wrong, it could be evil. It could hurt people. Similarly, projections, how we expect a situation to be, how we expect a person to be. Most of us, and contemplate deeply, please, most of us suffer because our projections are not fulfilled. Most of us, we have a projection of how a certain situation must be. We have a projection of how people should be. We have a certain projection of how we must do certain things. And when we do it, and that projection doesn't happen, and it doesn't materialize, as we have projected, we become angry. Why? Because our upbringing, our culture, our background, and what we expect is false. Then we create sufferings for other people and other situations. Why? Other people don't have the same upbringing as us. Other people don't have the same values and thinkings and cultures and background as us. How can everybody be exactly as us? And we have a false expectation of people, of others. When we plant that false expectations on others and they don't meet up to it, we get into a cat fight. We scold and we show a black face, or we say nasty things. We create more sufferings for them and us. And if you don't believe in karma and religion and Buddha, no problem, but you can believe in humanity. You don't create harmony and happiness by your projections. You don't create harmony and happiness when you actually do that to other people. Because if you don't believe in the next life, no problem, believe in this life. Believe that if you do that, that's not right. And that's the beauty of Dharma and Dharma teachings, is that it can be applied to your life and it can benefit your life now. People who take time to listen to Dharma, people who make time for Dharma, people who do that have their priorities correct. I'll tell you why. You're not a religious fanatic. Whatever we do, whatever we put time towards, is to bring some kind of benefit to us. What's more beneficial than learning the most ultimate way of transforming our mind to bring benefit to others? So, if we don't have any methods that are ultimate, we don't make time to learn, we don't make time for it, we don't have our priorities straight, then whatever we do will only be limited and stunted, and we cannot reach our full potential. Why? No matter how smart and good we are, there's someone better and smarter. For example, Buddha. So it's very important how we act, how we talk, how we present ourselves. And that's the end of my sharing session from Rinpoche's book. As Rinpoche said, we develop our projections or conventions, due to the environment that we live in. Let's say with me being Chinese, as Rinpoche mentioned, that during Chinese New Year, we like to wear red, or we like things to be red, like maybe red curtains, red cushion covers, red decorations, because to a Chinese, we have that thinking that it will bring prosperity. And, seeing red, it's like cheerful, everything. So for Chinese, red is prosperity. It represents prosperity. So whereas, if I were to go somewhere that, to them, red is not, it represents something bad. But the thing is, because to me, it represents good, so I insist on having red, then it will create disharmony amongst the conditions that I would be in, where they do not like red. So as such, we should always let go of our projections, because that is part of our projection. So we should let go of that and attach. That's also our attachment. So we have to let go of that and always do things that will benefit others, which is, so if I'm in that condition, whatever color they like, I should, actually like go with the flow, and, because it will make them happier. So it will benefit them. So as such, don't, impose our projections on others. And at the same time, we should open our minds up, to be accepting of others. So as such, I will end that session here. And please do join me as I go further into the book. And I'll end this with a completion dedication. And this time I'll do it in English. May the precious body mind, where it is not born, arise and grow. May that bond have no decline, but increase forevermore. May the precious emptiness, where it is not born, arise and grow. May that bond have no decline, but increase forevermore. May these merits accumulated by myself and others beneficially serve all sentient beings and the Buddha Dharma, and especially may the essential teachings of the unerring Master Tsongkhapa become clear and enduring. In all my rebirths, may I not be parted from perfect gurus. Let me enjoy the abundance of the Dharma, perfecting the qualities, stages, and paths. May I quickly attain the rank of Rajadhara Buddha. By this virtue, may I quickly realize Guru Buddhahood and transfer each sentient being into the enlightened state. May all conducive conditions arise and all obstacles be pacified in order to increase infinitely the doctrine of the spiritual king Tsongkhapa. By the merits of the 3 times of myself and others, may the doctrine of Lama Tsongkhapa blaze forever. At dawn or dusk, at night or midday, may the 3 jewels grant us their blessings. May they help us to achieve all realizations and sprinkle the paths of our lives with various signs of auspiciousness. May the holy teachers have long lives. May the enlightened activities be fully displayed in the 10 directions. And may the brightness of the teachings of Lama Tsongkhapa continuously dissipate the veil of darkness covering the beings of the 3 realms. In this holy land surrounded by snow mountains, you are the source of all benefit and happiness. May your lotus feet, O powerful Chenrezig, Tenzin Gyatso, remain in this world until the end of existence. And that's the end of my sharing session. And thank you for joining me. See you for my next session.